treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Hit first off the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo real. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, so suspenseful, I'm up in the field. Saw it in my eyes, it was the Tiger Hill. Gon' jump off the line and see the flyer field. Rewrite your history off this line right here. Your best bet be ahead, easy to get rich or dead trying. This ain't never new, I just be 10 steps instead. Snooze I won't, I can't lose, ready, rest or a bed. Do what you can to do, make your next move your best. I do this for the family, I might just slow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My jewelry cold is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Hit first off the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, way before the deal. Say this one for your photo real. Sing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I keep it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My jewelry the cold is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Let's go. Hit first off the edge like I don't know no feel. See that pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, way before the deal.
Thanks, Coach. Well, both teams were hoping the rain would vacate the Green Bay area by kick, but alas, it's still falling pretty steadily in and around Lambeau Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. 2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Green 18. Check. Walk 54. Let's go one more. Yeah. Tighten up. Green 18 up.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big run there by Jones. 42 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Box it.
The first carry for a former member of the Fighting Irish, Dexter Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
At the Vikings 24-yard line. Green 18. I don't think you got it, sir. Green 18 up.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And Adams has it, complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
First and goal at the 4-yard line.
Check. Watch 54. I know you ain't got it.
Now it's Rodgers. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
First down, Benjamin. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Brings up second and 12.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Now a give, right side. Benjamin. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a 6-yard loss on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Looking to throw. Fields. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up second and a yard at the 50-yard line.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On second down, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Rodgers now on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again, Rodgers. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. To throw, it's Rodgers. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, and we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. He's got the tight end, Sternberger. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
54 miles. Here we go.
And now whistles and a flag. And I think we got a jump here. So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know. Defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. After the penalty, it's Jones. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Getting the sense Charles this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Check 31, check 31, check 99.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Box it.
On the ground, this is Williams. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. This Minnesota D up to the task on the 3rd down pass play.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
On 2nd down now, Benjamin. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3-and-out.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Quit talking about it and bring it. Rush in.
Back to throw. Fields under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. And they'll go on the ground. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Looking to throw. Fields. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
And absolutely zero surprise that one was incomplete, huh? I mean, truthfully, how many OCs have we seen with 3rd and 20 on their play sheet and go, oh, I've got the exact play to dial up?
Now, that's just a head-scratching down when you're facing a 3rd and 20. Tried to complete it, couldn't get it done. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Here's Rodgers throwing again. Making the catch is Sternberger. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 27 yards there, a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Rodgers now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. About 3 yards there to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. To throw is Rodgers. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
They go back to the ground with Jones. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Now Jones, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Aaron Jones with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Point after here coming up. It's good to make it 17-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Here we go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Check, check. Lucky.
Off play action. Fields. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. On 3rd down, Fields going deep for Diggs. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Pulled in at the 24. 21 yards. Well done on the return. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field. And that one looks to be in the area where someone was held. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the 1st down due to the previous penalty.
319. 54 Mike. Silver.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the...
And he's into the clear. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there. Really
good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
They'll run on first down. Benjamin. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
At the 28-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Get ready. Get ready.
Here's the 2nd and 7. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
They go play action here on first down. Going deep for Diggs. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. His throw incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
25, check 25, check 25.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 2nd down, It's Jones, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
But he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
Check nickel.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Second and 12. At the Vikings 38.
54 Mike.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 21. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point attempt to come here. And the lead is now 24. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
He was covered by Jair Alexander.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Fields. He sets to fire deep. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
It's 4th down.
And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. A final shot before break. Fields. He's going to launch this thing way down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 22-yard line.
Second and 11. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. Well, they completed the pass but lost yardage, so they'll decline the penalty.
Perfect play for them, isn't it? Who needs a penalty? When you try and throw the ball, you don't even get it downfield, and they go ahead and snuff out the play. They'll take that as a result.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Fields. He's going to fire one deep over the middle, and unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking it about the 16. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
we
got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
On first down, Benjamin. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Packers' 22-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Off the play fake. Fields sliding out of it, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Preston Smith in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Kevin King with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 5-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the 2nd sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10.
Box it, box it, box it, box it. You go tight. You got tight.
Now Jones. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
2nd and 5 at the 40-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Here we go. Let's bring it.
Now Rodgers. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
2nd and 5 now. Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
That's another Packers 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 39.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. This is Jones. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
319. 54. You don't want none.
They'll run it with Jones. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Here's Rodgers. He's got it to Williams. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Now, what can they do here on second and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Now, a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
One back in the game. That's Jones, second and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle, and he'll take it for a Packer touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away as his guys continue to pour it on. So he's in for his 3rd score of the game, and the defense probably saying, man, we don't want to see this guy for a long time.
It's bad enough when anyone scores a touchdown against you, but for one person to get 3, it almost sets him apart from the rest of the game, and no one likes to see any of those players on a pedestal, not from the defensive point of view.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. To throw on second down. Fields going deep for Dick. He's got a man. Complete. That one good for 37 yards. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Going deep for Diggs. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Fields. It's complete to Diggs. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 31-yard line. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Fields. And my goodness, another interception. Kevin King with a pick. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Go. Out. Run.
Again, it's Jones. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They find some open field here. The 40. The 30, and they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there on the catch and run, 52 yards.
First and 10 at the 25-yard.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Here's Jones. A little second effort there on the strong run. And then drop just inside of the 20. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 18-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll go again to Jones. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
It's 3rd down and 4.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This time it's 3rd and 3. Rodgers now to throw. And that will be incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again, Fields. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
To throw on 3rd down, Fields. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him. And what I mean by that is what you said, 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try to pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more.
Vikings 7.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. And Diggs has it. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On 3rd down, Fields. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 24 yards.
1st down, Vikings.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Draw play, Madison. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 50-yard line.
Looking to throw. Fields stepping up. He's going to... He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, Fields. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. On 4th down, Fields. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be taken short. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
319.
Mike's 54.
Easy. Look again.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
Their own 16-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
Be honest.
don't forget today.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That good for 22 and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, second down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
One back in the game, that's Jones, second and goal.
Tackles.
He'll get it up the middle, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Extra point right down the middle. That game's gone final now at Heinz Field. And it was the Browns who wound up winners in that one. A win would be their second on the young season. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Packers, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another home date next week as the Browns will come to town. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
This ain't nothing for the back. 16 sitting in the lag. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in them. Ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play with me. No conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy.